Beginning, the promise that started everything. When I was 12, I didn't know what love meant. Back then, on the colony world of Arivos 9, humans and the native Ileri lived in a fragile peace. I was just a boy, a maintenance tech's son, running between the metallic corridors of the research outpost, chasing after strange lights and insects that glowed like tiny stars. That's when I met her. She was smaller than the other Ileri, with hair that shimmered like liquid silver and eyes that reflected every color of dawn. The other kids whispered that she was special, born of royal blood, daughter of the Ileri queen herself. I didn't believe it until I saw the way the guards followed her every step. Her name was Sarai. She never played with human children. But one day, when I tripped chasing a drone and scraped my knee, she stopped and stared at me. Then, without a word, she knelt down and pressed her glowing fingers to the wound. I felt warmth spread through me, the pain fading instantly. "Why did you help me?" I asked, surprised. "Because you looked sad," she said simply. From then on, she started meeting me in secret. We'd sneak into the outpost gardens and talk about the stars, about what humans and Ileri feared about each other. I told her humans dreamed of exploring the universe. She told me Ileri feared losing their souls to machines. And one day, when we were both lying under the twin moons, I joked, "If you were human, I'd marry you when we grow up." She turned her head, eyes wide. "Marry? It means, to be together forever," I said, grinning. "But don't worry. It's just a joke." Sarai smiled softly then, her voice almost whispering, "On Ilara, promises spoken under the moons bind souls." I laughed. "Then I guess I'm stuck with you." She only smiled, touching her heart. "Then we are bound." I thought nothing of it. But Sarai never forgot. Middle years later, the war and the return. 15 years passed. The peace shattered. Human expansion reached Ileri territory, and old fears ignited into open war. I became a medic in the Earth Defense Corps, patching up soldiers on the front lines, watching as cities burned in blue fire. The Ileri weren't monsters, but they fought like ghosts, appearing, vanishing, striking with precision. I tried not to think about the silver-haired girl from my past. Until one night on the battlefield of Nereth Prime, everything changed. Our unit was ambushed. Plasma bolts rained down. I was hit, thrown into a crater. My comms were dead. Around me, smoke and fire swallowed the landscape. I thought I was finished until a shadow appeared above me. An Ileri soldier. She removed her helmet. And beneath it, silver hair, eyes like dawnlight. "Sarai?" I croaked, barely believing it. Her face was the same and yet older, stronger, regal, but filled with something ancient and fierce. "You shouldn't be here, human," she said softly, kneeling. "You'll die if I leave you." I laughed weakly. "You came to finish the job." Her hand hovered above my chest, glowing as before. "No," she whispered. "I came to keep my promise." In minutes, my wound sealed. The pain faded. But something else burned in my chest, a strange warmth that spread through my veins. "What did you do?" I asked. "Life gift," she said. "Shared essence. Now your heart will beat with mine." Before I could respond, she pressed a small crystal into my hand. "When the skies burn red, come to the Tower of Winds. Find me." Then she vanished into the smoke. Months passed. The war grew worse. Both sides accused each other of atrocities. Cities fell, fleets burned. But I couldn't forget her, the look in her eyes, the feel of her hand, the words she said. When Earth Command planned a final assault on Ilara, I made a choice that branded me a traitor. I deserted. Under a stolen identity, I smuggled myself aboard a refugee freighter headed toward Ileri space. My only guide was that glowing crystal and the memory of Sarai's voice. The journey took weeks. When we emerged from warp, I saw Ilara for the first time, a world of silver clouds and glowing forests, towers like living glass reaching into the sky. But what awaited me there wasn't peace. It was ruin. The war had reached Ilara's heart. The great cities were shattered, the queen missing. Rumors whispered of her daughter, the Princess Sarai, leading the last defense. And then I realized the truth. The girl I'd joked with all those years ago wasn't just royal blood. She was the heir of Ilara. The same Sarai who had healed me as a child now commanded armies and still carried the promise I had made under the twin moons. Middle Part 2, The Tower of Winds. It took me days to reach the tower. The land around it was scorched, filled with fallen machines and broken ships. The air shimmered with residual plasma energy. When I entered, the crystal in my hand began to pulse, guiding me through empty corridors until I reached a vast chamber filled with glowing roots, part crystal, part living organism. And there she was. Sarai stood at the center, wearing battle armor made of woven light. Her back was turned to me, but when she spoke, her voice echoed through the chamber. "You came." "I had to," I said. "You told me to." She turned slowly, eyes softening. "You shouldn't have risked it, human. The war isn't over." "I didn't come for the war." I stepped closer. "I came because I couldn't forget you." For a long moment, she said nothing. Then she removed her helmet. "Do you remember what you said beneath the moons?" I nodded, my throat dry. I said, "I'd marry you." As a joke. Her gaze deepened. "I never thought it was a joke." My heart twisted. "Sarai, that was a lifetime ago." She stepped closer, placing her hand over my chest. "And yet your heart carries my essence. The bond we formed was real. I felt you across the stars. Every time you bled, I felt it." Before I could speak, the ground shook violently. Sirens blared through the tower. "They've found us," she whispered. "Earth forces." I froze. "Then let me help you, let me save you this time." Her eyes met mine. "No. You already did. Long ago." She pulled me toward a glowing pedestal. A sphere of energy pulsed within it, a living reactor. "This is Ilara's heart. It sustains our world. If it falls, everything dies." She looked at me then, desperate. "You can reach the human commander. You can end this." "I can try," I said. "No," she replied. "You will. Because our bond makes you my voice." She pressed her forehead to mine. "Go, Kellen. If you ever meant those words, save my people." Light engulfed me. And then I was gone. Climax, the bridge between two worlds. I awoke aboard an Earth Command ship. Somehow, Sarai had used her power to send me across light years. The officers found me unconscious in an escape pod, holding a crystal coded with Ilari energy signatures. They interrogated me for hours, calling me a spy. But when I showed them the recordings stored in the crystal, Sarai's words, her plea for peace, the room went silent. The footage showed her standing in the Tower of Winds, surrounded by ruin, yet unbroken. "I do not seek victory," she said in the message. "Only survival. If the humans wish to end us, let them come, but let them remember that mercy is not weakness." Her voice was calm, steady, and heartbreakingly beautiful. I looked at the Admiral. "You want to be remembered for genocide?" He stared at me for a long time. Then, slowly, he said, "Open a channel." That single decision changed everything.